the questions that you ask is, AI and analytics is like a placeholder. You typically will say, how is X transforming decision making? And that X takes on different values as time goes along, because it's always, the newest technology. It was big data, it was analytics, it was, the processing times and all of that. So needless to say, and extremely apparent to everyone, that there is already significant impact and benefits that people are seeing from analytics is more old school now, but from AI in decision making and risk management. There was a time when data brought a lot of intelligence to the junior analysts and workers in an organization, because they are the ones who were close to the data, who were close to information. And I think that has been that empowerment has increased tremendously, because again, it is the younger generation which is more fluent with AI techniques, applications, and how to look at the intelligence and use it for the organizational goals. So right there is a tremendous impact on the power of the skill the AI has, so to say, within an organization. And if you go to the traditional model of processes, platforms, and people, all of those are undergoing transformation. As a new technology, AI is now becoming the platform on which work will get done in organizations, within, without, in governance, in customer-facing businesses, in the B2B world, wherever you see, increasingly all platforms, tech platforms will have AI elements in there to make things more faster, more accurate, and actually to just increase the scope of what you can churn through in order to make your organizational decisions. The processes that we talked about, and if you look at specifically risk management, it is the whole initial assessment and exploratory phase where you can look at a lot more data. The whole time consuming documentation phase where there are organizations that have armies just working on documentation, and now a lot of that will get done within days, something that took months perhaps. The ability to be more predictive, more proactive, rather than reacting to, okay, here is an outlier, here is something we didn't realize would happen. AI is going to safeguard you from a lot of those intangible outlier cases. And then the ability to just connect things across the silos within an organization. So, just these aspects of enabling speed, of automation, enabling, encompassing the whole spectrum of variables, things that a human mind tends to ignore because, you tend to follow that 80-20 rule, but AI allows you to sort of boil the ocean to, if you put it that way. And eventually leading to a more profitable organization. Now, the question we have is, are we wanting AI to drive profit for a few or prosperity for all? And that's where, we delve into the realm of ethics and managing the risks that AI itself presents, right? So that's the whole domain that one steps into to see, okay, now that we have a new technology, which is game-changing, which has been earth-shattering, when you look at what the implications are, when you talk about AI ethics, ethics are typically, it is a human aspect because AI is imbued with intelligence, but it's intelligence that has been put in there by humans. So when you talk about AI ethics, I feel personally that it relates back to human ethics, because it is all about individuals and human decision making. The question then is, our economies and our nations, are they going to be able to agree on a certain code that governs how AI ethics ought to be implemented? something like a Geneva Convention, perhaps, and then is there going to be a commitment to adhere to it? Europe has the data privacy laws, California had its laws. What can come into being for AI is something that, there is a lot of discussion about, but we are seeing anyway today in many economies that it's so easy to go rogue. It is so easy to dismiss conventions that have been agreed upon. And, we're in a phase where there's always going to be cycles. There's ups and downs. The status quo will no longer remain. We went from dictatorships and kingdoms to democracy, and, what will ensue after democracy? And this post-democracy world, which also has AI as a superpower or a weapon that can be used for good and bad, then the whole question becomes very philosophical then about, which is, how do you adopt AI? Where do you apply it? What is it going to displace? How is that displacement going to affect, humanity? What is going to power those recommendations? Is it going to be human frailty or the needs of people? Is it going to be, and going back to my question of, is it, profit for some or prosperity for all? And that's sort of something that we are still debating, and there's not going to be a convergence, but it's interesting times that we live in.